Kelsey Dodd, and this is your moment. Hi there, it's Kevin Richards, your daytime host from 100.9 The Cat. These are tough times, and the center needs you more than ever. For 61 years, the people of the Capital Region have always united for the Center for Disability Services. So please call 518-459-7070 to donate. Around the Capital Region, supporters and friends of the center are making a difference.
The Center for Disability Services, which is located right in the heart of Albany but serves the greater Capital District, is so critically important. It provides so many services for people with disabilities. We can't do without it, and sometimes it's so good we take it for granted. So on this pandemic day when we're trying to fundraise, where I would ordinarily be with you in person, I want you to call 459-7070. 459-7070. Remember, that's area code 518-459-7070. And let's make sure we preserve and enhance the value of the Center for Disability Services. Thank you.
Lights, camera, action.
Hi, we're the Kapczynski family from Slingerlands, New York, and we're watching 518gives. Please call
518-459-7070
to donate. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone who's been calling 518-459-7070 to donate. We are so appreciative of every single call.
We are.
And I also appreciate Kelsey's performance there. We haven't been able to see any live shows for 10 months now.
No, and that's a great point. And also, I kind of wish it was like last year, next year, where it's in the mall, where everybody would have been cheering at the end of that. But what a great song, what a great performance. And I want to point out, Neil made a great point. You know, you think of the Center for Disability Services, think of it's that big building in Albany near St. Peter's. You go, yes and no. Yes, that's the main office.
Right.
They're everywhere. Trust me, wherever you live in the Capital Region, the center is near you.
Multiple counties covered. And we want to talk about some of the ways they've been able to actually expand during the pandemic. They opened up a brand new 6-bed home in Delmar, the first new residential site in many years. And they also bought a new home in Niskayuna that they are going to be renovating this year, 2021.
And that's what we're talking about. Wherever community you're in, there's likely a group home there where these are individuals getting better at life. And this has been a tough year. The money has not been coming in the way it normally would be, but the need is still there, and that's what today is all about.
And we are so grateful again for you calling 518-459-7070. You can also donate online. We've been reading some of your pledges here on air and saying thank you. And as well, you can go to the center's Twitter feed and see everybody's names being listed there.
Now, we're socially distanced in this studio here at News 10, but right behind the wall is Trishna Begum, who's standing by in the Zoom room with another guest.
Yeah, I'm literally right next door, and I'm with a very special guest right now, Pat and Allie Adams, joining us. And Pat, you were just telling me how important, how crucial the center has been in your life, and specifically Allie's life, who graduated from the Langan Center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when Allie was about ready to start school, she had gone into an early education center, and there was no place for Allie to go. Years ago, it was the CP Center. And we thought, well, Allie doesn't have CP, you know, so why would we want to go there? She had a very rare disorder, Rett syndrome. And we looked at other places, and we needed to find a place that she would be safe, that she could learn. And we went to the center, and it was like a lifeline. They threw us a lifeline, and they said, of course she can come here. And they've been a part of our lives ever since. They've helped her to progress as much as she could with a degenerative disorder. She made so many strides in the school program. so many loving people, caring people, you know, and to have it right in the area is just amazing. It's like in our backyard. And they knew that Allie had trouble with her breathing, so they said, we thought they were going to kick her out. But the principal at the time, he said, no. He goes, would it be all right if we put a one-on-one with her so that she can be monitored? And they did that, you know, and it was amazing. And everything they've done. And when it came time for graduation, it was a no-brainer because the center was right there. They had an adult day program.
They are amazing people with amazing resources. This has been a particularly trying year for you, Pat, right?
Well, it really has. I have always said we were blessed to be able to keep Allie home with us, you know, with her family and like that. And it was only because of the center that I was able to do that. And during the pandemic, because her health is so tenuous, you know, seeing that she has well surpassed and survived past a lot of her doctors, she couldn't go to her program. And I used to say, if I didn't have that day program, I don't think I could do it 24/7. But, you know, I'm blessed. God has been helping me, you know, along with all the support. And the pandemic has affected us. She needs to get back, and she will. And the center came through again, and she received the first dose a while back down at the center.
Okay.
We were so excited. We wanted to just stay there. Can I hide? And she's going to get the next dose on the 10th.
Wonderful.
And so she'll have that coverage. And hopefully we will be able to join all of her big friends. The staff is the most loving, caring group of people. The hands-on, and she needs to get back to her kitchen, you know, and baking cakes for all the people that are there. The center, more than ever right now, needs the people out there who are listening or who heard about it. And they've said, I would never need a place like that. Well, my daughter was normal till the age of 2. And that's the only place that is capable of caring for her, keeping her safe, bringing her to the highest level. Many of the things, I had to feed her with a ball syringe.
Wow.
And they taught her how to drink from a straw. Unfortunately, Rett syndrome didn't stop. But because of them, she's here. And she's here for a reason. And I believe that her work is not done yet. And part of her job is to keep that center going.
Pat and Allie,
it's always been there.
we thank you. One of the reasons we wanted you here, we know how passionate you are, a great advocate for this center. If you need a reason to give and you're sitting at home, Allie is one of them. Lydia, I want to send it to you.
Thank you so much, Trishna. And thank you, Pat and Allie, for joining us. And Trishna, with that Zoom, I couldn't say it any better than Pat right now, to get you to go to the phone, 518-459-7070. When she said she didn't think that she would ever need the center,
Right.
why donate to the center? Because they do help if you have a child born with disabilities. They can help you with services from birth. But what happens if you have an accident? You're left with a traumatic brain injury and you need services, whether help with education, employment services, help with housing. The center can help you at every stage of life, in every aspect of
Yeah,
life.
any of us can get into a car accident where there is that traumatic brain injury, and that's what the center's there for. What struck me as well, listening to her, Lydia, was she said, I don't know how I could do this if I didn't have them. And there are a lot of families in that situation that they cannot do it 24 hours. They need the help, and the center's there for that.
That's right, and that's why we need you to go to the phone right now. Dial 518-459-7070. Donate online as well, and we would love to read your name and give you a thank you for your donation in any amount. We have a $15,000 generous anonymous pledge right now that we would love to have every dollar of that matched.
Yeah, the pandemic, by the way, is changing how children right now are being schooled.
But what has that meant to children at the Langan School at the CFDS?
You're watching 11-year-old Kiera attending the Langan School at the Center for Disability Services. What's amazing is she is attending class from her kitchen table in Rotterdam.
So today for our group, we're going to reread our story so we can look at the pages as we reread, and then we're going to answer some questions.
During the pandemic, the center quickly shifted to remote learning for some and in-classroom learning for others. Today, Kiera is having the same learning experience as her friend Kiana, who is in the classroom. Kiera's teacher, Christine Sarnak, uses a computer equipped with a camera to connect with Kiera's home computer and camera. It's not easy. Kiera needs her mom, Shannon, or stepdad, Bill, by her side.
The center has been a huge help since Kiera was 2. They have offered all kinds of services for her. They have gone above and beyond, especially since the pandemic, on how to figure out how to make this work for the kids. If it wasn't for the center, I don't know what we would do, honestly, because there's nothing like it out there around here. And she spends a lot of time one-on-one with the different therapists, so speech, for instance. Same with occupational therapy. She does physical therapy through Zoom. It's been a blessing in disguise, really, because now I spend more time with her and I feel like I'm included in her learning and that I can help her more because I know more about what the teachers are doing every day.
All right, back here in the Zoom Center with Mike Zovastowski, a partner at UHY. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been a longtime friend and a donor for the center. Tell us about the important role the center serves in the community and why it's such an important cause for you.
Oh, yes. And thank you very much for having me today. I mean, it's really a pleasure to be here and be with everybody today. You know, this pandemic has been very difficult for all businesses throughout not only the capital region, but throughout the world. And the center is no exception because these services that the center provides had to continue. They just had to continue throughout the pandemic. And there are many individuals who count on the center, in addition to those who are receiving the care and their families. The center is also one of the largest not-for-profit employers in the capital region. So those employees and their families all depend on the center for either the services or the paychecks to be able to survive, that type of stuff. So it's really important for the capital region to have an organization like the center here in the capital district. So as you mentioned, we've done this for a number of years. Historically, we've supported the athletic area, the sports arena and such. And we're really happy that the New York Giant Dion Lewis is making an appearance today, and New York Yankee Aaron Boone as well. I mean, it's Aaron's a return guest, so that's terrific. Okay, but with that in mind, you know, and we usually support that, but we're not going to let the center down. We're going to continue to support the center because it is so important to have these services here. So, go ahead.
Mike, you've been doing this for years. You've been joining us at the telethon. Tell us a little bit in this past year, what really stood out to you that the center has been doing and has been providing even through the pandemic?
Well, it's been very difficult because they haven't been allowing a lot of people, or only employees on site and so forth. So as with everybody's being safe, everybody's being cautious and so forth. So it's really hard to really get out to the center. But we're in constant contact with them. We're talking to them. They're working hard. They're taking care of the disabled and their clients and so forth. What's really difficult for them though is the funding. Okay, so we're a CPA firm, so we're all about the money. We want to make sure that they're adequately funded and so forth. And because of their size, as being the large employer that they are, they're not eligible for a PPP loan, a payroll protection loan. So a lot of smaller businesses were eligible for those this year. We were able to help them and help them get forgiven loans, but they were not eligible to do that. And they were restricted. They couldn't do face-to-face fundraisers and so forth. So their fundraising has really been down quite a bit as well. So we really want to encourage people to donate today, to participate in the telethon, to really kind of kick it up and really help the Center for Disability Services in our community.
Yes, even though we look a little different this year, the cause is still the same. Mike, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to send it over to Christina now.
Actually, we're going to go here first.
That's right. We're going to take a quick stop here, say thank you to Christina, and keep on sharing stories.
We'll get to Christina in 1 second. I want to mention longtime journalist and veteran John McLaughlin spent a lot of years hosting this telethon. John joined us now with an amazing look back and a little bit of a pitch.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for having me on the telethon this afternoon. My name is John McLaughlin. I was on the telethon for about 31 years, and 21 of those years I hosted it along with some showbiz types like McLean Stevenson and John Ritter and others, and a lot of very, very good memories from those years and a few challenges as well. Among the good memories, one about former governor, late Governor Mario Matthew Cuomo, the father of the current governor. And here he is, one of the most important governors in the nation, one of the most important politicians in the nation. What did he do every January on a Sunday morning and a Sunday afternoon? He watched this telethon. I know it's true because he told me that he watched it just about all 12 years that he was here in Albany. Not only did he watch it, he used to phone the telethon just about every year. I can remember one year where one of the operators, she's got her hand over the phone and she said, "Mr. McLaughlin," she said, "there's some jerk on the phone who says this is Governor Cuomo." And I said, no, that's not a jerk, that's Governor Cuomo. And he would call every year and he'd ask me, he'd talk with me and he'd kibitz. He'd just shoot the breeze about the telethon. How are we doing? Were we raising enough money and so on? Most of the time, he also made a donation. Now, one year, he made a very sizable donation. And after he told me how much he was giving, I said to him, "Governor, would you mind if I went on the air and mentioned that you made I won't say how much, but you made a big donation?" And he said, "John," he said, "the executive mansion's about 12 minutes away from the center where we did the telethon that year." He said, "I can be at the center in about 15 minutes. And he said, I will personally wring your neck if you do that," okay? So, that's just one of the good memories and one of the nice stories that comes back after those 31 years. A lot of challenging weekends, though, too, when a lot of other things were happening and when we're trying to raise money. I'm thinking about 2002 in particular. It was 4 months after 9/11. People were still angry, they were still anxious, they didn't know what to think at the time, and here we are on the air and we're trying to raise money for the telethon. As it turned out, they were very good to us. The audience was very good to us, and I shouldn't really use the third person pronoun they, because it's you, it's the second person pronoun, it's you. I'm sure that though it's 19 years ago, that a lot of you also donated back then as well. I would just remind you that this is going to be a very, very difficult weekend for the telethon. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We've never been through this before in our lives. And I would just try to remind you of a couple of things. First off, This is the only fundraiser that the Center for Disability Services does each year. Now, there are other fundraisers that are much more narrowly focused, the golf tournament, a wine tasting, the Ciro's Cup, and you're welcome at any one of those, but this is the only general appeal that we make each year. This telethon on a January afternoon. I would also remind you, we're only going to be on the air for 3.5 hours with this virtual telethon. I'm not going to suggest to you, I wouldn't dare suggest to you what you should give during this weekend, because a lot of people have had problems. Only you know how much you can give. Be generous, and please give from the heart. And finally, just let me remind you that there are about 1,500 people, all the way from infants to senior citizens, 70, 80 years old, who benefit on a daily basis, 7 days a week, from the Center for Disability Services. Not a single one of them is to blame for the pandemic, just like none of us is to blame for the pandemic. And yet each one of them is already a victim, just as you and I are victims of the pandemic. It would be an injustice, a tremendous injustice, if they were further victimized because we were unable to raise the money this afternoon to pay for those programs, to pay for those things that they come to the center for each and every day of the week. Please don't let us go off the air. I told you it's 3.5 hours. It's not like other years when you can say, well, maybe an hour or so from now I'll give. It's got to be done right now. So let me wrap up. Now, you're probably saying, because Governor Cuomo, he passed away some time ago, I bet you John's going to tell us how much he gave, and that's sizable donation, right? No, I'm not. Okay, I know he passed away, but I still fear that there's some way that he'll come back and wring my neck if I tell you how much he gave. Go to the phones, please, right now, go to the phones. Make your donation, whatever you can do, from your heart, from your wallets. Please help us out.
The legendary John McLaughlin.
Can't
Incredible.
say it better than
Thank
Johnny
you, John.
McLaughlin.
And he has the best stories, and that story of Governor Mario Cuomo is fantastic.
And there are so many anonymous donors out there, and we appreciate them so much. And of course, there are also those who are letting us know how much they're donating, giving us their names. This is the phone bank that you are seeing live right now from the Center for Disability Services in Albany.
This is a great one. Ramey and Terry Walker, this is my daughter's 3rd grade teacher.
Oh, hooray!
She and her husband, $200. Thank you, Terry and Ramey.
Thank you so much for that generous donation. Tracy Pollock right here, and look at this, $50 in honor of her 5 grandchildren, because she knows how important the center is, and you never know if you'll need the services.
George and Marianne Forsland, $40 from them. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And right here you see Nancy Horgan giving $25. We appreciate it so much. We know times are tough, but people are still giving.
And Tina Pickett, $50. And again, remember that $50 gets you the Center for Disability Services face mask, so call in. Louise Finelli, another $25. Thank you, Louise.
Thank you, Louise. And we've got the Winowski Family Foundation here. Look at this. From Lake Oswego, Oregon. A $1,000 donation. This is what keeps the center going. Your generosity near and far.
That's right. We appreciate all that help. I had a chance to catch up earlier with Milton Hall, former managing director of Northwestern Mutual, longtime donator to the center, heavily involved. Here's my conversation with Milt.
It started over 20 years ago when I was the managing partner at Northwestern Mutual, and back in about '98, I had wanted to get involved in the community, and I looked around, at different organizations, and it kept being that the Center of Disability was always at or at the top, and their reputation was so good. So anyway, I took the opportunity to get aligned with the center, and what a great decision I think the organization made. I retired about 10 years ago, and my successor, Alex Trumko, has continued that relationship. So we have a good standing now with the Center for Disability for about at least 22 years.
It's fantastic. And from what I understand, you sit on a board of governors, and you have for some time. For people that really still may be unfamiliar with the center and exactly what they do, describe to people for me how fulfilling it is to actually be involved with an organization like this.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm so proud uh, of the opportunity to be affiliated with the center. You know, when you look at the services they provide through their medical clinic and through their school, the Langdon School, and all the homes for the consumers out there, the residences we have, and the transportation system, it is a major undertaking, and it's all done to provide services to the consumers and the families that need help with their family members who have disabilities, and it's very gratifying. And I'm always taken back to it how much support the community provides to the center.
And we find ourselves in the middle of this pandemic now, this era of mask wearing and social distancing. A lot of these consumers, a lot of these folks require one-on-one attention every day to be in close proximity with these people. So not only has this fundraiser in the past raised money for the tremendous technology that they use for these consumers day in and day out, but now add on top of that, the extra personal protection for everybody else, that PPE that is now so necessary. And this fundraiser is going to go a long way with helping them to purchase that additional stuff.
Oh yes, it's big a big issue this year, certainly. And you know, the thing that was really important is that the center approached this in a very thoughtful, organized way. But the thing that stood out is that they wanted to continue. The center wanted to continue to provide as many services as possible. And there was some that we had to change based on certain issues that came up. But the reality is they continued that, but they always had the safety protocols as a paramount importance for the individuals with disabilities and our consumers, as well as the staff. And I also have to say, you know, what a job they did, the staff at the center, and especially the direct care providers that worked with, as you mentioned, that worked with all the individuals, and something again to be proud of. And they really have stepped up to do a great job.
You know what I find so amazing doing this fundraiser now for the past few years, and a lot of the special guests that we bring in, and for instance, this year, Yankee skipper Aaron Boone, New York Giant Dion Lewis, and to hear from these guys once they get a chance to tour some of these facilities, how blown away they are by what they see. And it's always nice to hear their stories of those visits.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun having them here, and they come and it provides a lot of entertainment. But the reality is, it's really great to know that they can take a story like they see here, what we're doing, back to their other friends and associates, and which creates a lot of support. And we've always had really a pretty good ability to have people come and visit. And our Ann Costigan of the center does a wonderful job in helping promote the center. So
tireless,
yeah, it's a nice
that Ann Costigan. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. She's one of a kind. And we're very fortunate to have her at the center. But again, it just helps broaden the center's attention to what we have going on and the services we provide.
Fortunate to have people like you as well, Milt. Thank you very much for joining us right now, and thank you for your years of service and dedication to the Center for Disability Services. It's appreciated.
Oh, I appreciate your thoughts. Very kind. But as I said, it's a privilege.
Milt was getting some emails towards the end there, dinging on his computer, but
man.
he was fantastic. All right, check this out.
Yes, Bob Hoffman here donating $10,000 in memory of his beloved Barbara Freer. Thank you
Again,
so
that
much.
is incredible, but every little bit helps.
That's right.
Those $10, $5 even $5 donations go so far. Here's Mary McGill out of Loudonville, $400. Mary, thank you.
Mary, thank you so much. Challenging times bring out the best in the capital region. Suzanne and Bill Palmer donating $250. Helping the Center for Disability Services and all those who are served
Rosemary
by it.
Rosen, $150 from Rosemary. Thank you.
Fantastic. Susan Nevins right here, $50, and she will get one of those masks that
Absolutely.
you can wear. 518 gives.
Donna Topolsky, $50. Thank you to her colleagues in the center's IT department.
Oh my goodness,
one of the
they've
heroes.
been working hard. They are heroes considering this pandemic and how they've had to do things remotely with the technology. Madison Vandenberg and her family donating $100 on behalf of Casey Ryan. Maddie, thank you so much, and to your entire family, we appreciate that so much.
Joan Sandwick, $30 in honor of Keller Gray. There you go.
Dog, one of his 5 dogs, right, John?
So keep this in mind too. We are going off the air less than an hour from now, 5:30, but the phone lines remain open for another hour till 6:30. So keep that in mind, 518-459-7070.
But you know what we always say? Don't wait. Don't wait. Do it now. You can make a difference.
Call now.
We are going to now have a little treat for you because you're going to hear another fabulous performance coming up here.
Mariah Formica.
Welcome back. It's Chad and Meredith from the B95.5 Breakfast Club.
We're going to kick things up a bit with someone being called an emerging rock sensation, Mariah Formica. From viral videos, a label deal, to launching a new band, this 20-year-old from Albany is making her mark.
Let's get ready to rock the Bulmer Telecommunications Center at Hudson Valley Community College with Mariah Formica.
Yeah, they call me magic, yeah, 'cause I can handle it, oh, sometimes I get 11 and just like Bay, I'll make some lemonade, yeah, I can right a wrong, yeah, I can sing a song, I can turn a frown upside down in no time at all. If there's one thing you should know, you can't stop me once you press go. I will climb this mountain of life. I will take one step at a time, but I won't give up and I won't give in. I give everything I have to fight this battle uphill. I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, 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 I will. If there's a black cloud, follow me around. A calm of thunderstruck, open the heavens up. Rain won't get me down, 'cause we gotta grow. Live for today and not tomorrow. And I learn from my mistakes, 'cause I make them every day. I will climb this mountain of life. I will take one step at a time, but I won't give up and I won't give in. I give everything I have to fight this battle uphill. I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, oh, yeah. I'm magic, I can handle it. You can tell me no, or I told you so. Didn't you learn about sticks and stones? I will climb this mountain of life. I will take one step at a time, but I won't give up and I won't give in. I give everything I have to fight this battle uphill. I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, 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 I will, oh, 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 I will.
Whoa, that was great. Let's keep things rocking, but we need your help. Today is the one day the Center for Disability Services reaches out to you. This is your time to make a difference. Call us right now at 518-459-7070.
Stay tuned because you don't want to miss the next singer. So many friends and supporters of the Center for Disability Services are watching right now with you.
I'm Chief Joe Gregory of the Albany Fire Department, and this is my rescue dog, Mr. Finn. Let's face it, we live in challenging times, and raising money to help the center help others has become more challenging than ever before. Please, Do your part and call now. Any donation will be greatly appreciated. Right, Mr. Finn? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Elisa Streeter saying hi from my home now, hundreds of miles away in South Florida. I miss you all, but I still hold so close to my heart the center, and I hope all of you will support them today.
Call 518-459-7070.
Hello, from Christian Brothers Academy. We encourage all educators and students in the Capital District and our CBA community to support the center. Go Brothers!
Hi everybody, this is the gang in Applied Biophysics in the Rensselaer Tech Park.
Thank you for tuning in today.
We ask that you support this very important fundraiser for the Center for Disability Services. Please call 518-459-7070. Thank you.
This is Tony T. from the New York State Elks Association. Our Elks are absolutely committed to the Center for Disabilities, and we strongly encourage you to make a donation. Pick up the phone and make a pledge. Thank you.
We're the McDonald's from Glens Falls Taekwondo, shouting out to the North Country and all martial artists in the capital region. Call now!
I'm Anthony Morgerato with the Eleanor School of Dance competition team, and we are honored to support the work of the center and ask the community to join us today.
Let's tap it off the stage by calling 518-459-7070.
All right, welcome back to the Zoom room. And we're joined by hometown hero, Albany's own running back powerhouse from the New York Giants, Dion Lewis. Dion, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Now, you don't forget your hometown. You're heavily involved. You were telling me you've been involved with the Sears Cup fundraiser in the past. This is your first time now with us here on the 518gives fundraiser. What made you want to get involved with the Center for Disability Services to begin with?
Just whenever I get a chance to, help out people back in the 518, I'm always really willing to do so, especially, a cause like this, which is really important at a time like this. So, I think it's very important, that help support these guys, especially, being back at home and doing whatever I can to, help and spread love during these times.
It's been a tough year for sure, the pandemic making everything just that much more challenging. So it's so important now. People donate every year, but this year in particular.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure everybody's going through difficult times right now. Some people aren't working, kids aren't in school, things like that. So I think especially now, if you're able to, help other people out, this is the best time to do it because you might be struggling, but you never know how tough somebody else has it. So I think it's very important, especially now with Corona. We all trying to get back on our feet, try to get back to a normal life. But, at this time, my focus right now is just giving back whatever, any way I can, the best way I can. So, I'm just happy to be a part of this and encourage everybody, to support a good cause.
And we're happy to have you. And one of the things we always say, too, is that you never know when you might need the services of the Center for Disability Services. And they offer so much for families that find themselves in all different kinds of situations. Isn't that right?
Yeah. You never know what kind of situation you're going to be in. You never know what's going to happen to your cousin or your niece or something like that. It's important to everybody. You never know what somebody else struggles going through, whatever other people, family who's dealing with this type of stuff are going through. So whenever they feel support from other people, it gives them something to look forward to and it brightens their day. And whenever you can do that for somebody, God always bless you on the back end.
Oh, absolutely. And we love listing off the donations that people have been calling in and giving all afternoon. And a lot of the donations have been large, but we've been saying all afternoon long too, it doesn't matter how much you give, as long as you give.
Yeah, as long as you give with your heart, anything is acceptable. It doesn't no matter what your financial situation is, you can need help just as much as the next person, but whenever you're willing to give, it shows your gratitude, what type of person you are, and it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to come back around full circle, so you never know. And like one day I might need some help. I might, one of my family members might be going through something tough too. So, you always want to have people in your corner, and when you do right by people, people do right by you. So it's definitely a great cause to get involved in, and I encourage everybody, to keep supporting.
And how special is it for you to be able to come back to your hometown, to Albany, the capital region in general, and be able to get involved with organizations like this?
It's very important because, growing up, we didn't really have too many people to look up to, or professional athletes coming back, giving back, or even coming to my classroom. You know, I talk to a lot of kids in their classroom, and growing up, we never had that. So just to give people, you know, hope and motivation that, you know, if you work hard and you're right to people, you treat people right, and you give back, anything can happen, and people will look out for you and take care of you.
Very true. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you for a Super Bowl prediction before we let you go, Dion. You won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. We know this is his time of year. So what do you think? Who are you putting your money on?
I'm rooting for Tom. You know, he's one of my teammates in the past, and you know, he helped me get a ring. So he's one of the best to ever do it, and you never go against that man. So definitely going.
Love
with
to
Tom.
hear that. I'm a Patriots fan for life. Dion, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Nice to see you. Enjoy the rest of your off season. Lydia and John, let's get back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Dion. And he's so right. He says, do right by people. They will do right by you, because you never know when you're going to need the center. It is good to have it there.
Completely very true. Thank you so much, Dion, for doing that. I want to mention now, the clock is certainly ticking on our time today for the 518 Gives fundraiser, but the need never does stop at the Center for Disability Services and all the people that they're helping.
That's right. Those needs are fulfilled by the great staff at the center, and some of the equipment that they use is very expensive, as we see in this story with Riley Barker and how much he can do with help from the center. These may look like small steps, but each one takes every bit of strength and, yes, grit that 24-year-old Riley Barker of Latham can muster.
Yeah, it's a tram that they use to make me bear weight on my legs, and it's really fantastic. But for me, there is one simple explanation I can give you: freedom.
Specialized mobility equipment at the Center for Disability Services gives Riley the opportunity to stand, to get out of his wheelchair. Beth Keating is his physical therapist.
It's important to get up so we can put weight through their bones to help with their bone health, to make their bone density better, make stronger bones. It helps with respiration and digestion, getting everything flowing and moving properly.
It allows you to get out of this chair, put your feet on the floor, and to me that's just the absolute best feeling that anybody could ask for, because we don't walk, and when we get up out of our chairs and things, it's just a feeling indescribable, really.
Riley's disability causes intense stiffness, so every therapy session starts with stretching to ease his pain. Kylie Cavallaro is his occupational therapist at the center.
OT is so important because we really want to keep those arms as mobile as they can so that they can do pretty much all the things within their day, to get dressed, to feed themselves, to, if, you know, Riley does a lot of volunteer work so that he's able to reach things and grab things and, you know, use his power chair, really keeping those arms mobile and strong.
Riley's physical condition is challenging, but his charm, wit, and true heart of gold are overflowing. Before COVID restrictions, he was a volunteer at both Albany Med and Teresian House.
If I can help just the least person put a smile on their faces, then that's a good day for me.
His dad, Joe, is his biggest fan.
He's my hero. He's had so much adversity because of his disability in his life, and he's always maintained a positive attitude and a tremendous outlook on life.
But for me, it's just, you know, biting the bullet, you know, getting up every day, even though I have limitations, and just really fighting the good fight, and just, you know, just taking every day as it comes. I'm enjoying every day that I have, because I feel so lucky, because I'm so fortunate that I can speak, I can, move around with this wheelchair.
Every day fighting the good fight. Riley and his dad, Joe, come to see us every year at the telethon. I so miss seeing them and meeting them again this year. But get this, Joe, in honor of Riley, donating $1,000 to the center. That is incredible. Thank you, Joe, and Riley even more so for that powerful message.
Yeah, and if ever there was time to pick up the phone, please think about doing it now. The number's on the screen, 459-7070. We don't expect you to match this, but certainly $10, $20 in honor of that young man, who, by the way, does not feel sorry for himself. He talked at the end of that story about how grateful he is that he can move the way he can, that he can speak. Boy, he puts it in perspective.
And volunteers himself, before COVID shut things down, was volunteering at Albany Medical Center and the Teresian House. So,
and a lot of that happened because of the center giving him the confidence to not give up on himself and to believe in himself, and you saw it there.
And with the therapist working with him, giving him the mobility to be able to do what he can with his volunteer work. It all happens both with the staff, the incredible therapists they have there, and the equipment that they need, which can be expensive. It's paid for by your donations to 518-459-7070. The center really helping people get better at life.
Quick reminder, normally, nothing's been normal, right, since last St. Patrick's Day, we'll say. We would be on from noon until about 7 o'clock at night. We'd be out in the mall with tons of people coming by. It's much smaller this year. It's much more socially distant, being responsible. But because of that small window, we only have a half hour left. If you're thinking about making a donation, now's the time to do it.
That's right, a half hour that will be on the air, but those phone banks where the people are still being safe, answering your calls, they will be open till 6:30.
So think about making a call right now for again, the number's on the screen right there. And if you see two numbers, one number's for donation, the other is for services if you do have a need.
You can also donate online. There's as well an auction online where you can grab yourself some great items. I've been checking my phone every 5 minutes. I'm in a bidding war somehow with, I don't know if it's the same two people or not, but we're in a bidding war. I think I'm going to have to up my bid in just a few minutes here.
Well, now you're too invested. You have to win at this
point.
Yes, I do. All right. The auction, by the way, is coming up real quick right now, right?
Yep, that's right. We're showing you some of the items right there. Now, if I tell you which items I'm bidding on, then, I think, oh, there goes one of them right now. Let's go see if we've got some great prints. We've got some the G Clays that are there from Saratoga. Are we going to show the G Clay of, is it Patrick Mahomes? Because I think someone was, yep, there it is right there. I'm actually thinking of ordering this, bidding on this just so I can burn it.
Wait, I'm going to learn something new. What's a giclée? I'm learning that.
It's a special kind of print.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So if you're a Chiefs fan, maybe you want to get that. If you're a Bills fan, you may want to get that and do something else with it.
We've got a very interesting and fun collection of musicians now going to do a very special treat for us right now, proving it is really a wonderful world.
Hey again, it's Jake and Libby from Fly 92.3's Fly Morning Rush.
What has made this fundraiser so special is that it's always about the people in our community. Some of the best musicians in the Capital Region decided that they wanted to help. It's a one-time collaboration you will only see here.
You'll recognize these names: the Sharks, Night Train, Ernie Williams, Luster Kings, and the Mother Goose Jazz Band. I had a chance to talk with the organizer, Bob Button.
Now, from the Bulmer Telecommunications Center on the Hudson Valley campus in Troy, here are the legends of the Capital Region with singer Mark Gamsjager.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see sky's blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow, and they learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow, they learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That was awesome. Stay tuned. We have one more great number coming up from the legends.
Right now, let's hear what people from around the Capital Region are saying.
Hi, I'm Ben Malika.
And I'm his mom.
We're watching from Greenwich and asking our friends and family in Washington County to support the center.
Call now.
Hi, we are from Weston Hills 12U Wild. Supporting the center takes great teamwork from everyone in the community. This year we want you to join us in hitting it out of the park. Thank you!
I'm Mrs. Bonesteel at Tamarack Elementary School in Brunswick. My kindergartners and I love to practice our numbers. Are you ready, kindergartners?
Yes!
5, 1, 4, 5, 9, 7, 0, 7, 0.
Oh, I love seeing that message from the kids, 518-459-7070, and the people answering the phones right here at the Center for Disability Services. Normally we'd have those big phone banks if we're all together, different this year, but they're still getting the job done. You can make a difference now. Time is drawing to a close. This is the moment for people to pick up that phone. You can also donate online at cfdsny.org. We say this again and again, how it's really the community that comes together and donates and helps. We've built the center through our donations. In these tough times of the pandemic, if we hadn't donated in the past, they would not have been able to meet the challenges. So many in the community stepped up. We heard about the restaurants who went and made meals and donated them to folks in the group homes when they couldn't bring other people in and they had to do what they could to help those in need. We've also heard about the center helping the community at large by making face shields, 800 face shields for Albany Med. That was done by the Center for Disability Services, helping people beyond those with special needs through the research and development arm, the Life Quality Solutions Incubator. And there are others who continue to help. You've got to see the story right here. If you need more motivation to call, Think of this 10-year-old girl you're about to meet who spent her entire summer helping others, working to just donate it all to the center. Here's Julia. 10-year-old Julia Holtz turned her family's living room in Glens Falls into a workshop to make masks. Julia sold the masks to benefit the Prospect Center, an affiliate of the Center for Disability Services.
Because I go to Glens Falls Taekwondo, and for the past couple of years they have been raising money for Prospect. And now, because of COVID, they couldn't do all the things that they used to, like car washes, bake sales, and all the things that they would raise money for. So I thought that I could make masks to help add to that fund. We sold each of them for $5, and we made about 100 masks.
Julia and her mom, Kate, spent long hours cutting and sewing, but Julia's desire to raise funds made it a labor of love.
She has a wonderfully generous heart, and her father and I are so proud of her that she wanted to make money to give. Even after we got to a certain level, she took money from her piggy bank and she said, I want to donate this money on top because I really want to, she just has this heart to give to others.
That to always think of others, and if you're gonna do something, to put others over yourself.
All it took was a visit to the Prospect Center to meet the children to inspire Julia to want to help. Inspiring for each of us today to pick up that phone when we see a small child's heart is so filled with compassion and generosity. Julia so much for what she has done, and we need more people with big hearts.
Yes, we do. So thank you, Julia. And remember, $50 donation
Here we go.
gets you the mask, right?
Right here.
Wear it proudly in replace of the pin this year.
And we want to get to these donations now because huge reach of the center and so
Yeah.
many people responding. Janet Kaiser of Rensselaer donating $200. Tremendous. Thank you so much, Janet.
Next, we have Irene Manchester from Sharon Springs, another $100. Thank you, Irene.
And let's get to our next one. Megan Spring from Clifton Park, $100. Thank you, Megan. It's appreciated.
Nancy Morey of Gloversville, $50. She's getting a mask.
Ta-da! And here you go with Peter Bonneau from Cahoes donating $100.
Jim Schramm from Amsterdam, $100.
And up next, Leslie Dunn of Troy, $50 donation. Thank you to you, and you also get the mask.
The names rhyme. Diane Paul from Delanson, $50. Thank you, Diane.
And more donations. Paul Barnum from Craryville donating $60. Thank you so much.
Amy Wasmuth from Sicklerville, New Jersey. Thank you, Amy. $100. Way to go.
Even outside of our
Look at
state,
this.
Matt and Shirley Kirby from Los Angeles,
All the
California
way
with a $1,000 donation. People
Thank
don't
you.
forget the center for all
No, they
they do,
don't. That's right.
and we appreciate that generosity. All right, time for celebration with a song. What do you think?
Yeah, here's Pete Kelly and Scott Pang from Jams 96.3.
Welcome back. I'm Pete Kelly. And I'm Scott Pank from Jams 96.3. Some of the biggest names in Capital Region music have joined together to form the Capital Region Legends.
Including members from the Sharks, Night Train, Ernie Williams, Luster Kings, and the Mother Goose Jazz Band to do a one-time collaboration because they want to help the center and be a part of this great event.
And you can help out the center with a phone call right now to 518-459-7070. From the Bulmer Telecommunications Center on the Hudson Valley campus, here are the legends of the Capital Region with singer Thomasina Winslow.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. See it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Oh, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait.
And the best way to put a little love in is by dialing 518-459-7070.